Welcome to your mini lesson for today, fourth grade. Today we're going to look at just a couple of word problems to remember or remind ourselves how to add fractions. Remember, we are looking for estimating and how close are we going to be to 1 or 1/2 and trying to make sure that our answer makes sense when we get to that point. So in this question it says, Colin ran 1/4 mile. Then he ran another 3/4 mile. How far did he run altogether? So first I want to know, what is the problem asking me? I have a lot of information here. I have got Colin running on 2 different occasions with 2 different measurements. It says, how far did he run altogether? So how far did he run all together? That's what we want to answer. So an equation that I can use, I have 1/4 and I have 3/4, and I want to figure out the total of 1/4 plus 3/4. Now, it says estimate the reasonableness. Is it likely that this answer will be greater or less than 1? Well, I know I have 1/4, and I have then 3 more fourths, and 1 plus 3 equals 4/4. And if I remember what we learned about fractions, 4/4, the same number in the numerator and denominator, means 1 whole, or 1 mile in this case. I'm going to put 1 or 4/4. Which means, yeah, it's close. It is exactly 1. So by guesstimating or estimating this 1 plus, this is close to 1/4 or 1 mile, then yes, this is actually looking pretty good. I can look at this model that was drawn. He walked or ran 1/4 of a mile the first time, so he did not run these 3/4. And the second time he ran 3/4 mile and not this 1/4. And when I combine the two, I now have 4/4 or 1 whole mile. Let's try one more problem for today. Marcy's aunt is making muffins. The recipe needs 3/4 cup of white flour and 3/4 cup of wheat flour. How much flour does she need in all? So her recipe has her using different types of flour, and she needs the same amount of both. But we need to know, how much flour does she need in all? That's really what it's asking us. So regardless of what kind of flour, she needs 3/4 plus 3/4. So thinking about 3/4 and 3/4, I know that 3/4 is 1 unit away from a whole. So I have 2 measurements that are just almost a cup. Is the answer likely to be greater or less than 1 whole cup? Well, I'm thinking it's going to be more than 1 whole cup, because I already know that 3/4 is just 1 unit away, and then I have another 3/4, which is another unit away, so that's almost 2 cups, definitely more than 1. So when I add these together, I get 3 plus 3 is 6/4, or I can say that's 1 whole and 2/4, which is the same as 1 and 1/2. Whoops. 2 is half of 4, so I could say 1/2 as well. So any of these answers would be acceptable if you were responding to this on a test or on an assignment for rotations. 6/4, or 1 and 2/4, or 1 and 1/2. And as we see here in the end, this is greater than 1, and it's a whole half cup more, or 2/4 of a cup more than 1 whole cup. We can look at a number line to see this. You can see my number line, I have 1 hole here and 2 holes here, and each of these tick marks measures 1/4. So 1, 2, 3/4 plus 1, 2, 3/4 lands me at 6/4 cups, or 1 and 2/4 cups. Good job. Today for a unit of study, you are going to be working on a couple of problems. So take your time, do the same thing we did here. Think about, what is the question asking? What is an equation I can write? And then how reasonable is my answer? Once you have completed that activity, you may move on to the next one. Good luck, fourth grade.